It was his 100,000th time Lily, a young waitress in her early 20s, had worked the breakfast shift at Sunnyside Cafe. She was used to the early morning rush, the smell of brewing coffee, the clatter of plates, and the small talk of regular customers. But his morning felt different. As Lily cleared tables and wiped countertops, she noticed an elderly woman in the middle corner booth. The woman had sharp eyes behind thick glasses, and she kept glancing around as if she was afraid to speak or maybe afraid someone would notice the fear. Lily smiled politely. "Good morning, ma'am. Coffee with toast." The woman nodded slightly but didn't speak. She lifted her hand just slightly and slipped Lily a single finger gesture. A tiny motion toward her side pocket. Lily's heart skipped. It was strange, but something instinctively told her this was no formal gesture. She approached Ed quietly and asked, "Do you need any help?" The woman's face filled with relief, and she finally whispered, just barely audible, "Help, please." Lily knew somebody needed 911, but how could she call without alerting anyone in the cafe? The woman looked around, possibly fearing the wrong person noticing. Heart pounding, Lily slipped her phone onto the table and pretended to keep looking at the menu. She called 911 softly and gave address and details, careful not to scare anyone. Then, she watched as the woman trembled and clutched her side. As Lily kept her calm, the dispatcher on the phone talked her through emergency measures until police squad arrived. Lily didn't know exactly what was wrong, but the relief in the woman's eyes was priceless. The officer sorrowed, and the woman whispered again, "Thank you. You saved my life." The investigation begins the next day. News spread through Sunnyside Cafe like wildfire. Lily was just doing her usual shift. Hent women in suits entered, the kind that looked more important than any customer. They approached hesitantly and asked for the young waitress who had saved an elderly woman the day before. Lily looked up confused, but the woman from yesterday entered right behind them, looking healthy and well-groomed in contrast to the fragile figure from before. "I'm Ms. Whitmore," the elderly woman explained. "The 911 call yesterday may have prevented a massive fraud that targeted my family assets. I cannot thank you sufficiently, but I can ensure your future." Lily was bewildered. "I was just doing my job," she stammered. "Nonsense," Mrs. Whitmore insisted. "You have intuitions, awareness, and bravery. Those are things we cannot ignore." The men in black, silent and stoic, nodded. Mrs. Whitmore introduced Lily to their CEO, Mr. Dmitry Volkov. Ash explained that the woman was not just any elderly lady. She was a powerful matriarch with holdings in major companies, and yesterday's incident uncovered a plot that could have cost their millions. The unexpected offer. Mr. Volkov, as stunningly handsome and commanding in presence, approached Lily. "Your actions yesterday were remarkable," he began. "Not many people would notice the warning and auto signal alone. You have something valuable for businesses on life: perceptiveness, calm under most pressure, and loyalty. I want you on my team." Lily blinked, stammering, I'm just a waitress. I have no experience with business, investments, or anything like." Hekutherov, smiling. "Experience can be learned. Courage and integrity cannot. You may start as an assistant, but you will learn everything. I assure you, this is not just a job. It is a life change." Lily felt her head spin. She had worked long hours for knowledge and small tips, but never had anyone offered her a path that could completely change your future. Booty didn't know if I mean. She was struggling to find Mrs. Whitmore placed a hand in her shoulder. "Trust him, Lily," she whispered. "Sometimes life sends us miracles." Lily looked atmr. Volkov's intense eyes and finally nodded. "Oh okay, Altry." The decision felt like jumping into the night with knowing safely landing, but something inside her said this was right. Learning the ropes. Her first day at the Volkov Corporation was a bliss and a nightmare combined. Lily's routine of serving coffee and wiping tables was replaced with financial reports, strategic meetings, and high-powered negotiations. She felt out of place, shaking hands with CEOs, answering questions about markets, some of which she had never heard of. Mr. Volkov, however, watched her closely, patiently guiding her through every mistake and cheering every small success. Weeks passed, and Lily began to learn more than she imagined. She was amazed at the much observations in the cafe translated to business. Noticed details, people's gestures, subtle tone changes, all helpful in detecting fraud, negotiating deals, or predicting trends. Soon, her intuition became a valuable resource in boardrooms. She felt her confidence grow, from a waitress to lady who could hold her own against industry giants. A life transformed. Onivening. Lily looked out the glass window of the Volkov Corporation skyscraper, dusk painting the city in golden light. She remembered the silent signal, the fear in the elderly woman's chaise, and the rush of adrenaline that led her to save a life. She also remembered her first days everywhere, feeling small and afraid. Today, she's with Mr. Volkov in important meetings, helping decisions worth millions, and planning charity programs for people like her past self. Mrs. Widmore approached her again, smiling. You know, Lily, you did more than just save a life. You changed ours, too. Lily smiled, thinking about how one tiny gesture, one silent signal led to her entirely new world. From that day forward, she was no longer a waitress or just a life observer. She was a daughter of fortune, not by birth, but by courage, quick thinking, and an unexpected chance. And somewhere deep inside, she knew life would never be ordinary again.